The depth on this Winnipeg Jets team this year is absolutely insane. I've talked about it a lot, but lately we've been talking about the depth in a different, kind of light. And that's with the fourth line. You look at the Jets' fourth line right now. David Gustafson, he's out right now. You've got guys out with injury. You've got Kupari out with injury. But with Toninato and Axel Jonsson coming in, these guys have been playing great. The fourth line's been playing amazing hockey. You have to realize that Toninato was on a 4-game point streak for his first four games of the season. And this fourth line is doing everything you could ask from them. And with Kupari getting healthy and being sent down to the Moose for a conditioning stint, his first game was yesterday in a 4-0 loss. But, and also David Gustafson, he's starting to skate out there in a non-contact. So he is getting healthier. So you start to bring up to this question of what do you do with the fourth line for the Winnipeg Jets? Because a lot of these guys, they're not locked in necessarily 100% at their spot. It's not a guarantee for any of them, and I think that's why this fourth line has been so damn good this year. You look at Toninato. This guy started with the Moose, and you look at Morgan Barron. This is a guy that was guaranteed a spot in this team pretty much, but has still had to work hard and is playing really good and a gritty hockey, and it's really working for him. And then Axel Jonsson coming in as well, a guy that was on the Moose to start the year, a depth forward for the Jets last year, spent a bit of time with this team as well as Toninato, but them coming up and earning every second and every opportunity they get with this fourth line. You look at Axel, and his whole career before coming to Winnipeg was really all over the place, but finding stability with the Jets and the Moose, and being a consistent call-up. You look at those 5 points in the 20 games. He's done everything you'd ask for a depth guy in a fourth line position, and Rick Bowness trusts him and puts him out there at times to hold on to the lead in the final minute. And he's just been a guy that, so many times that we've seen jump up in opportunities. He's played on the first line at times. He's played on the power play. He's a penalty killer at times. I really think that Axel is one of the most underrated depth guys on this team, because we kind of forget about the flashiness of some of these guys. You look at David Gustafson, and the roster already with Kupari. There's a lot more flash than in their game compared to Axel and compared to Toninato. But you're really starting to see just how much the hunger in these guys is really driving this play, because in my whole opinion, this line, the reason why they've been so good is because they have something to lose. They're all playing for a roster spot, and Morgan Barron's the only one, like I said, who was pretty much guaranteed a spot going into this. These other two guys have come in with injury, come in with opportunity, and are earning every second they get, And Morgan Barron, don't get me wrong, he may be a fourth liner, but he's playing very, very good hockey. The 8 goals, 12 points. You'd like to see him get some more assists, but the 8 goals have been dominant goals. He's been out there working hard, getting to the nitty-gritty areas in front of the net, and, getting rewarded for it. And I really think Barron is going to only get better with time. This is still a young prospect who, is trusted by the coaching staff, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of room in his game to improve. And he definitely is the one guy on this line that I think will be the staple moving forward. I don't think Barron gets sent to the Moose unless, he really falls off. But, in my opinion right now, looking at this team, looking at this line, looking at Kupari coming back, and even when Kupari was healthy at the start of this year, I think Toninato might be a better fit on this team. I really do believe that, and it's not because, like I said, Toninato's some flashy guy, but every time he's played with the Jets, I've trusted him out there. I'm never nervous when Dominic Toninato gets a call-up and an opportunity with the Jets. Every game he's played in, he's been very serviceable, he's been reliable, he's scored big goals, he's come up clutch, and again, this is a guy that really didn't find a lot of stability in his career before coming to Winnipeg and getting an opportunity in the last couple of years, getting re-signed with the Jets. He's a guy that's played up and down the system so far for us, the Manitoba Moose. He's come up and played games and earned games, and he's also gotten playoff opportunities with the Jets going back to the COVID years, and like I said, the 4 points, the 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 8 games, he's been very damn good for this team, and there's no denying that, again, playing with your heart on your sleeve like these guys have, earning every opportunity they get, getting rewarded for the hard work by the coaching staff. Like I said, they have been out there with the lead, trying to defend the lead more times than I can count, and they are a lockdown line for Rick Bowness and Scott Arniel and the rest of this coaching staff. They trust these guys, and I think that when you go forward into, towards the trade deadline, with a Kupari, I think the most exciting thing when you look at this whole Dubois trade and all the players that have been acquired and the way that this season's kind of shaping out is that you might be able to move Kupari. The Jets have so much forward depth, and Kupari, he could be, develop into something decent, but at the same time, packaging Kupari, packaging a second round pick, it might be a way to bring in, more talent to this team that's even better than Kupari and even better, than Axel and Dominic. There's ways to improve this team now because the Jets have so much depth. They have younger players that are good. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Kupari, but at the same time, I think that the Jets' fourth line right now, obviously the Jets are playing playing the best hockey right now of their entire season. But even with that being said, I think this is the best iteration of the fourth line we've seen in a while. They're playing amazing hockey, and I think everything's just clicking for them right now. So why not let them ride it out? Why not see how long this is? They can keep this up, and if they are able to keep this up, maybe like I said, you look at trading Kupari. Maybe you use him as a trade deadline asset to bring in even more talent to help bolster this team for a deep cup run. This team has so much opportunity in front of it right now. Now, I'm not playing the parade, okay? That's not what these videos have been about. But all I'm saying is that the Jets have found themselves in a very, very good position. They have hungry guys on affordable two-way contracts earning every opportunity that they're given. And then they have guys like Kupari who are good, that can be here for a while, but you could also look at trading because they might not necessarily be that main fixture that you want down there on that fourth line anymore. The great thing about having a deep team is the bottom six can constantly change and stay deadly and have different shapes and forms. I really view this Jets team as a team that has a bottom six like that. It's a Swiss Army knife bottom six, as I like to call it. They can play very well and match up very well against certain teams. And we're seeing that right now on the streak. We're seeing that this season, and I'm just very excited to see what happens with the rest of this fourth line and all these players down there. So make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Winnipeg Jets hockey. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Turn on notifications if you haven't already. Peace, love, and positivity as always. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the content lately. This run has been absolutely incredible. It's been a magical thing to witness, and I couldn't have wished it for a better fan base. Not just saying that as a fan, but for all you amazing people out there. So peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
It'll all be over.